with Darnell Holmes, Touch of Sleep,
the real
Fight
Touch
High,
of Sleep.
The real Touch of Sleep with Fighthype.com. Tell us what's up, man. What's going on?
I'm hoping I came up to help Steph get ready for his fight, you know. So he's ready now. He's gonna go in and take care of Chaz Witherspoon, probably within 6 rounds.
That's your prediction, 6 rounds?
Yeah, I say 6 to 8 rounds, and that's just because he want to get loose. You know, he don't want to waste the work that he's been putting time and put in the gym and get some rounds in.
Now, the last time we saw you was in December. You had a close decision that didn't go your way. What did you take from that?
Well, a lot of things people don't know, man. Being out of North Carolina, it's not any sparring down there, especially not at my level.
Okay.
I own a trucking company. I own and drive one of the trucks. So people don't know what's behind the scene with me. I took that fight. The promoters knew it. I didn't have any sparring. They pretended to help me, but they didn't get me in the sparring. You know, I called them a couple of weeks about it. So finally, I see they wasn't going to do anything for me. So I had to just use what I had.
Was that like a last minute notice too?
No, it wasn't a last minute notice, but I didn't have any sparring because I haven't made any money with boxing, so I had to work still.
Right.
And the only sparring that I had was one guy, Zebulon Moore, you know, had never, a big guy, but he had never had not even an amateur fight. So we pretty much had to train him to become a sparring partner, and a 14-year-old that only had 3 amateur fights at the time. Okay. So that was it. And so pretty much I was just getting in, just using them to work on defense. And I took the fight straight up, you know. I got in the best shape I could. And, you know, not to take anything away from Bowie, but if I had had the sparring that I had up here with Steph, I would have stopped him within 3 rounds.
I believe it, man. Y'all been getting in some good work. So tell me, anything coming up on your radar as of recently? Well,
the same situation with everywhere I go. When I got up here, these guys said, man, they couldn't believe I could really fight that good. So, you know, they was glad that they brought me on board. And so Mr. Sharif said he's been shaking trees and he's trying to make something fall out. So he's going to do some things for me, and I'm very glad about that because now I know I've at least secured every time Steph fight, I'll be able to come up here and camp, help him out, get ready, you know. And the thing about Steph that I really like, and Andre and Mr. Sharif, it's a very humble people. They're very supportive of each other. And it's not about boxing to them. If something happened and Steph say, you know what, I'm tired of, I want to give it up, they would probably be disappointed, you know, that they're not a part of it anymore. But that would be his decision, and that was it. They're friends among the boxing situation. So it's not about money to them, it's about the well-being and doing things the right way. And so I'm glad to be aboard because I'm going to get my shot now once they go in and shake the trees for me. And that's all I've ever asked because I'll handle my part of the business, which is knocking guys out.
Okay. Now, so you find that as a home field, does it feel like home to you, North Carolina?
Oh yeah, because I mean, I've been to a lot of different camps for a lot of different people, and the only problem I've ever had is some would be different trainers with egos, who wants to be in charge, who wants to be in control. There's none of that here. Everybody's here. They tried to give me a fight on the card, they didn't, but even if they had, it still would have been all about Seth Mitchell, because Seth Mitchell's fight is a big, important fight, so that's what it was all about at this go-round. I would have been behind the scene getting ready for my fight also, but this fight is a big fight for Steph, it's a big step for him, so it was all about him.
How do you find the food here compared to North Carolina?
Hey, funny that you say that. Everybody speaks about how good the seafood is in Maryland.
Okay.
Everywhere that I've been, almost at least 4 times a week, I've been to different seafood places. All the food here comes from Hampstead, North Carolina, which is 10 minutes from Wilmington, right where I'm from.
So we're stealing your stuff and making it better.
Maybe y'all can cook it better, man. But it's all coming from North Carolina, baby.
Anything you got to say to your fans? Anything you want to say there?
You know, hopefully now I'm going to get my shot, you know, and going to get an opportunity to do some things. So, you know, all the ones that had negative things to say, you know what, if I get beat, then you can keep saying your negative things. But at least now I'm going to get my shot and get my opportunity with bigger name guys. And as far as the fight with Steph and Chaz, I'm looking forward to end within 6 to 8 rounds if it goes that far. Because I really feel like I'm a better fighter than Chaz Witherspoon.
Right.
A slicker fight on the inside. Even though people don't know me, they want to judge off of what they read. And I really think that after maybe 2 rounds, Steph will have Chaz figured out. And the thing about Steph is he's a very consistent, strong guy. He's not one of those guys that came from another sport that they've hand-fed opponents to. He fought decent guys from his very first fight. And he overwhelmed them with his power, because he's not a guy that's strong for 2 or 3 rounds. He's consistently strong. And the thing about it, like I was telling another writer about myself, it doesn't matter what anybody else said about me, it's how I feel about myself, and that's Steph's strong point. Chris Robertson with CB Boxing Info, he was telling me that before I came up here. He said, you know what, out of all the fighters, he really likes Steph because Steph's the only one that he see that actually has heart. And that's the biggest thing I've noticed here. Steph has heart and desire, and he's going to go a long way with that.
All right. Tell everybody how to reach you. You on Facebook and Twitter?
I'm on Facebook, just straight up Darnell Holmes. I'm about to open a Twitter account now because I'm really on the go with my work, so I really don't have a lot of time to mess around.
All right, why don't you shout out your trucking company to us?
D Holmes Trucking.
All right. Thanks for your time. Fighthype.com. 33-2 right now.
34-2.
34-2.
And really 36-0 because the 2 was with Brian Mintel, one of them, and he quit because I was about to knock him out. It was a jab that caused a cut over his eye. They stopped the fight and claimed it was a headbutt, which it wasn't. And Pat Nelson, the promoter for it, he told me straight up they took a gamble because he knew they wouldn't take that fight away from Brian and give it to me in his hometown. And the other fight was with Bowie. I can live with that loss with Bowie because I worked with what I had. I didn't have any sparring for the fight except the 14-year-old and the guy that never had a fight. So I just went out straight off the truck and took the fight. But I was a better boxer. I was in better condition. So really that made Bowie look bad because he should have walked through me, but he didn't.
Darnell Holmes, we're going to keep your record as much as you want because you're a way bigger dude than me. I ain't
the Ivanhoe touch of sleep, the real touch of sleep.
Thanks for your time, brother. Appreciate it.